Hey, good evening, everybody. It is currently, what is it, August 27th, 2025 at 9:55 p.m. here on the East Coast. I wanted to hop on in here and do a few quotes for senior citizens. And I want to do that because I know there's a lot of issues getting quotes online. Usually, if you go for a quote, you're going to get calls, texts, emails. People are going to show up at your house. There's a lot of hassle involved with it. So, if you look in the description of the video, there's a link where you can go to find the average cost of funerals, cremations in your state. So, I'm going to do this for California. I do have quite a few clients in California. So, we're going to take a look at this. And if you go to this website, you can click on your state and see what the average cost of a funeral is in your area. Traditional burial in California on the low end is like 5,500. On the high end, it's around 13,000, and the average is around 8,000. Sometimes that doesn't include the plot and the headstone, so you can add a couple $1,000s for that. But this will give you a good idea of what you're looking to get just for the base, just to cover the cost of your burial or cremation. From the customers that I have been speaking with over the past few years, cremation seems to be the most common option. I think that's changed over the past 5 to 10 years, where more people are opting for cremation. And in that case, that would go for a policy of probably around $5,000. That should cover most of the cremation and have a little bit left over. But anyway, I'm going to do it from Mutual of Omaha. That is one of my favorite carriers personally. There are companies out there that are cheaper, but I believe that for the price for Mutual of Omaha and the quality, it can't be beat. It's you might find it's something a little bit cheaper, but not much. So I want to start with the age of 60 to 80, because I think that's where whole life insurance really makes the most amount of sense. So we're going to start with 60. And for Mutual Omaha, this type of policy, the level policy, this is going to be for people who might have a few minor health conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol. That's okay. You can have diabetes as long as there's no complication. You can take insulin, but yet again, the diabetes has to be under control. I think there is a section. I think they also approve neuropathy as long as it's not related to the diabetes. But we'll start with ages 60 to 80 for male and female and see where we stand. So when we were looking at our website, we saw the average cost was around for traditional burial. We'll just start there so you'll get a baseline understanding of what we're kind of looking for. So the average cost is around $8,000 for a funeral. We'll go up to 10 for a little bit of buffer, just so you'll have that there. So we'll start with $10,000. $10,000 worth of coverage for a male who is 60 years old in California. The cost for that will be $43.76. And that is as of today, 8/27/2025. And we will also go to female, and we'll take a look there as well and see how much that costs. Let's see. That is going to be a little bit cheaper because women have a tendency to live longer and not do quite as many crazy things in life, although there have been a few exceptions. All right, so that is someone who is age 60. So let's go to 61. And you'll notice the prices get a little bit higher as you get older because all life insurance companies base it on your height, your weight, your age, your medical history. All right, so for a female at 61, it'll go up to $34.51 for $10,000 worth of coverage. And let's see how much the male counterpart will be. It's around $46.41. So see, it's pretty easy here. If these quotes are appealing to you, feel free to give me a call or a text. I'm available until 12 a.m. Eastern time to accommodate people on the West Coast, and I've got a few clients in Hawaii as well. So I will be around if you need it. If you have questions, feel free to call me, text me. Even if you don't get a policy with one of the companies that I represent, I will be more than happy to help or assist in any way that I can. All right, so let's get to age 62 in California. 62 is $49.07. And one thing when selecting a policy is you want to, or at least it's my recommendation, to cover the basics first. I know a lot of people want to leave a little bit extra, but the first and the most important thing is to cover the costs you want to cover, like your burial or cremation. All right, so a 62-year-old female will be $36. That is pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go up to the 63, and we're going to go for the male, and let's see how much that's going to be. That is going to be 51.22, and I'm just putting it in my spreadsheet. All right, female at 63 will be 37.72, and I hope this helps out a lot because I know a lot of people they go online, they put in their information, they get called nonstop, and that is so annoying, you know. And a lot of the agents who call you, I can't like criticize all of them. Some of them actually do want to help, but you know, even when the good intentions, it can get really annoying, especially if you get called like 70, 80 times a day. I know that can get frustrating. And once you turn 50, it seems like you get calls all the time. I don't understand what that's about. 65. Let's go for 65. This is when most people are retiring. I think it might be a little bit later now. 65-year-old male, $10,000 worth of coverage. That is going to be $56.48. Okay, and we're going to go with the female. Females are still cheaper, and that gap looks like it's getting a little bit wider too, if you notice the cost increase for male versus female over time. All right, so we're going to go over a 66-year-old male and see how much that's going to cost. $10,000 is $59.85, and like I said, the most important thing is to make sure it fits within your budget and it actually makes sense for you to have a policy. For example, if your kids are loaded and they can cover the cost of the funeral and you're not able to make the payments and say your budget's stretched out, then I would talk to the kids to see if this is something that either they would want to cover the cost of the life insurance or they would just want to cover the cost of the funeral. Whatever you do, do not stress yourself out. Do not overextend yourself if you don't have to. All right, 67-year-old male, we are going to go for $63.18. Okay, close this out. And 67-year-old female, it looks like that is going to be $45.86. Okay, and we'll keep going up to 68. 68-year-old male, and that is $66.84. And a 68-year-old female is $48.29. We're gonna go to 69, big 69. All right, let's calculate that for the male. That's $70.79 for $10,000 worth of coverage. And the 69-year-old female, it's going to be 50. See, that gap is really getting larger. Okay, 70 years old. Calculate. For male, that is $74.61. And for the female, that is going to be $53.24. Yeah, another thing to be careful of when you're looking for life insurance, especially online, there are a lot of, or not a lot, there's a few companies out there that present their policies as whole life. They don't say it's whole life, but it looks and feels like whole life, but it's actually an increasing term policy. So just be careful of that. When you talk to an agent, make sure they explain everything to you. Make sure you understand all of it. All right, 71-year-old male is going to be $78.81. 71-year-old female is going to be $56.20. All right, so we're going to go to 72. 72 for a male is going to be $83.99. And for a female, it is going to be, wow, $58.46. And 73, my neighbor is 73. I see him when I go take my dogs for a walk every morning. He walks every day about 3 miles. And I was talking to him the other day, and he said he wishes he was 60 again. You know, it's like good time. All right, so we got a 73-year-old male is 89.46. A 73-year-old female is going to be $63.55. And 74 is where I think it kind of increases to a point where maybe you want to go down to 7,000. It really depends on what's in the budget, I think. But 74, so we got a 74-year-old male that is going to be $94.87. And for the female of the same age is $67.78. All right, we're going to go for the 75-year-old. Let's do the women first this time. 75-year-old female, $72.41. And let's go for the 75-year-old male, $99.97. Okay. And we'll go for the 76-year-old male, which you see the prices are getting a little bit higher once you hit 70, 75. Okay, so let's see. 76-year-old female is going to be $78.25. And 77, do 77 real fast. 77-year-old male, which means that he was born in 1948. Wow. Must have been, so we've been 18 in 1968. That was a wild time. All right, so 77-year-old male is 114.13. 77-year-old female is going to be $83.51. Okay, we've got a few more to go here. Thanks for sticking with me. And like I said, if you have any questions, all of my contact information is in the description. 78-year-old male is going to be 122.13. A 78-year-old female is going to be 88.44. So we're getting a little on the high end. So 79-year-old male is going to be 129.52. And 79-year-old female, it's going to be $93.41. And finally, 80. And if you are over 80 and you want to get some information, feel free to contact me as well. 80 is going to be 139.73 for a male, and for a female, it's going to be $98.43. And that is all the ages between 60 to 80. My recommendations, if you are looking for life insurance, get it as quick as possible. You know, don't keep putting it off. I know Mondays always sound great, but they rarely happen. It would be always to evaluate the need first, right? You want to find out if it's, you want to find out if it's, sorry about that. That was my phone, my watch. It has a tendency to chime in from time to time. But the biggest thing is find out if there is a need, right? So like if you pass away tomorrow, will your family be able to cover the cost of the funeral comfortably? Or would there have to be like a GoFundMe or a church fundraiser, or would somebody have to put it on the credit card? But if they're able to afford it comfortably, talk to them about it first. If they're not, and you want to put something in place, and let's say one of these quotes for $10,000 was outside of your budget, then maybe reduce the cost. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing type scenario. No one should pressure you into doing an all or nothing scenario. You have to do what's best for you and your family. And like I said, if you have any questions, even if it's not with the companies I represent, I will be more than happy to assist you. If that means you do not have to get spam called all day. All right, thanks a lot. And until next time, have a great time.